Undergrunt.
You ordered your specials! What's wrong?
This will mean the extinction of all existing life forms.
You haven't even tasted it yet.
What do you think? I'm into cannibalism or something? Hey, are we all in the same discussion here?
Well, I'll give you a hint, doll. What's white, all boiled, and always remind me of my birthday?
I don't know.
The eggs. Get them out of here.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named from that, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle. And another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gym. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey! Welcome to Bonus Disc, the only show on the internet. I'm Bob Rose, and with me is Matt.
Hi.
Hey, and with us is former guest of the show, 50 Shades Darker or 50 Shades of Grey fans.
Just the first one.
This is the first one. Rob Zeman and Sean Hillary. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry for screaming. That was a while ago. That was like 2 years ago. That was like the beginning of Bonus Disc.
Yeah, and honest, I never watched the other ones.
No.
It ended there.
We saw 50 Shades Darker.
No,
so.
I didn't.
I thought you did.
No.
I
did.
did. I did.
I just
Just
heard about
you.
the Chronicles of Riddick poster, and
Yeah,
that sounded
yes,
amazing.
that is the most notable thing.
Yeah.
Is that there's a Chronicles of Riddick poster in the set design of 50 Shades
So it
Darker.
takes place in the real universe then.
Yeah.
It's the documentary.
Exists somehow.
I think
just
it's
a
because
documentary.
he's supposed to be young. The guy is young, and they were trying to time it out. Like, he would have been a Chronicles of Riddick fan. I don't... Look.
That's what we're here to talk
That's
about.
what we're
apparently.
talking about. The age of the characters in the 50 Shades movies and their pop culture fetishes. No. We watched a 1996 movie called Evolver, starring Ethan Embry, and the mom from
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller,
Q from Star Trek.
Q from Star Trek, Paul Dooley from a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and the voice of William H. Macy,
Who goes by W.H. Macy.
W.H. Macy.
He didn't want the William in there.
as Evolver itself, which we'll get to.
Itself himself.
I found this on YouTube. This is a completely random find I found on YouTube. I've never heard of
And
this
anyone
movie.
can go see it, right?
Yeah, the link will be on the Podbean website. So if you want to watch this, it's free and
It's pretty great.
I think, actually, I think it's one of the better bonus movies we've ever watched.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about it. It's a great trailer. It is. The trailer's really good. Okay.
I went into it blind. I didn't watch the trailer. So
Neither did I.
Had I probably would have been even more excited.
I don't remember Evolver.
The Revolver,
Jesus.
not the band. Isn't that a band?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember Evolver talking in the trailer, though.
No.
Yeah,
That's a surprise.
That was a surprise.
The only reason I knew it was I don't know if would we have recognized it was William H.
I don't
Macy?
think so.
No.
Because it's like a young William H.
Macy.
It probably would have been like...
him though. It
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
Once you know, though, it helps.
Yeah.
Just makes it even better.
This was like you said 1 year before
Fargo.
Before he was in like one of the greatest American.
Well, this is
films
what
ever
opened.
made.
This is what opened the door
to
to that.
Fargo.
To Fargo.
The Coen
is it.
brothers saw Evolver. And were like, there it is. We know.
That's
It's
Jerry.
some of those.
Yes.
It's the way he delivered some of that dialogue. They
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, this man is intended for dark stuff."
All right, so Evolver. Let's get to it. The way it starts is about a 3-minute credit sequence.
Of a 3D
Schematics.
Yeah.
like build up of the Evolver, but you only get to see like pieces of it,
And then the reveal.
and then the reveal of the whole, and you're just
then
like,
I don't
you
even know if it
even
was
care
accurate to how
anymore.
he looked in the film.
It was pretty
It was
rudimentary.
Close.
It was
I
like
felt like it was.
It was
looked
the
like,
video
like
game
an
version
actual
of Evolver.
Transformer.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh,
if
it
the
was the
video
video
game
game.
version of Evolver, which we'll get to, it had a schematic, a wire graph
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was 3D.
Green on black. Just
It's
know
so long. It's so
so
long. It's like 3-4 minutes.
And it's someone like
Right.
just experimenting with like After Effects or
Yeah.
a 3D CAD program where they don't know quite how to use the mouse toggle for zoom in and zoom out. So they zoom in and then they backtrack for a second and then zoom back.
yeah.
Complete insanity.
It feels older.
I mean,
than
I
it
probably couldn't
is.
do that right
You
now.
couldn't do that.
I don't 3D stuff. Not really good at it. I'm not really good at effects. That's why it's hilarious. I do them all the time. Anyway, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, I just thought it looked worse than 1996. Like so much that at that point is when we figured out it was 1996 because we looked it up trying to guess.
Because when was Jurassic
based
Park?
on-
93.
It's terrible. It looks terrible.
It looks pretty
This
bad.
looks like it came out in 1988. It's awesome, but because it's 1996. But all the robot and everything about it is like stuck in the 80s. It's fantastic.
It's kind of amazing. Like Corey Haim isn't in this movie. You know, like you know what I mean. It feels like it should be a
Almost.
Corey Haim movie, and it's not. I don't know why.
Because it was 1996.
It's
If it was
1986.
1986. It would have been Corey.
He was
Haim.
on his way to stardom, past Evolver status. So after that, we cut into this club, which is what was it called? It was
Turbo
like,
Play.
Turbo Play. It was
But
like
it-
a video.
Virtual excitement.
Virtual excitement.
It looks like something out of a bad homage to Clockwork Orange, though, like the Milk Bar, where
It's like
it pulls out on a white
Blade
statue
Runner
of a
and
man
Clockwork
wearing
Orange,
VR goggles that have tubes that are going back into his head.
that attach them to the wall. It's weird.
No
and
one
useless.
works there.
The walls are
No,
black.
it is a
neon
room
lights.
with
a
one
game.
game.
That's it.
And
That's the only decoration is the white man strapped to the wall.
and a pretty good turnout. There's like
there's a
40
lot of
people
people.
Oh,
that
dude,
are watching.
it's the happening thing in town.
People are betting on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Embry
there's
playing a
underage
video game.
gambling, so this is clearly like the dark, seedy place.
Okay, so there's it's just a big screen, a guy in a virtual reality helmet, and like a little like cage that he's standing in.
Two cages.
Two
Dude,
cages.
the rest of the
he's
room
in a
is just
cage.
black walls.
It's just black
with like a
walls.
strip of lighting around the whole thing. That's it.
And
it's
the
a
door-
game, the white
the
guy,
door
and
is
that's
just-
it.
It's like a door to like a
meat locker.
Yeah.
It's just plastic flaps.
It's like
insane.
a factory. Yeah, it's terrible. So then
This
like,
is where children hang out.
so
Gamble.
then
Gambling.
so then like
awful.
his like friend or something comes through taking bets, just pulling
whether he's
people's
gonna
money
win or
out of their
not.
hand, while Ethan Embry is in a video game that kind of looks like 2 steps below Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so bad.
It's bad.
the only
It's
reference
so bad
that
looking.
Sean and I probably have was just as obscure, but there's a 90s movie called Ghost in the Machine that there's big parts that take place in a 3D environment.
Okay.
So there was some theme during that time period where they probably just recycled.
Well,
the
it
same-
kind of had like that lawnmower man look.
Exactly, yeah. That's probably a better reference than
Hackers,
Ghost in the
also
Machine.
worse.
hackers when they're hacking
Yeah.
look kind of thing. Yeah.
There's a lot
But
of
that was the cool little
Sid
sculptures
6.7.
and shit. In Hackers, they like filmed the little light city
They
they
did.
built. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. This is not cool.
This is a video game. They made a video game and then like just use that, right? I mean,
I guess it looked.
Hey, dude, I don't know what I was looking at.
That always just nobody made that. That just has existed.
It looked like remember when you could get your screensaver to be like a maze that it
Yes.
walked itself through. It looked
Yeah.
like that,
There.
But
with
worse.
globby people in it. It looked like shit.
because Ethan Embry is like this green man. He's pretty much Charlie from
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny, and he barely moves his arms and stuff. And then you see in the game is Evolver. I keep saying Revolver.
Oh, it's
so close.
And he's like this little shrimpy looking Wall-E thing.
Yeah.
He's like,
he is very
with
just-
his arms
Yeah,
out.
I didn't understand because when they first show him, he's literally running with his shitty arms up in
He
the
looked
air.
really weird.
So
He looks like
E.T.
E.T. almost.
An E.T. trash can Wally, like you said. Like,
yeah.
But not like the bad guy of a game that attracts 40 people in underground betting.
yeah, no.
No, not at all.
But it does.
It does.
Oh, but
and
while
because
they're
it can
playing,
kill you.
when Ethan Embry like turns around to shoot at the robot, but he's firing at the crowd, they kept
Crowd
ducking.
ducks.
Yes.
They were like,
From
"Oh,
nothing."
from what?" It was great.
because they're so
I know they're
immersion.
so
Matt.
exciting, man. The graphics are so real.
If you were in 1996,
Ugh.
you would feel it.
Avatar.
It
got
looks like a
shit on
game you
this.
could play on a calculator. It's
I
garbage.
wish Avatar looked like that. I would, 4 hours of that.
Fucking Navis with their arms wobbling around.
Because at one point he
flying
gets
on
in, he's
dumb
in this
things.
room in the game that's all mirrors, and it's so confusing. It looks so terrible. You don't even realize that it's like
mirrors.
this mirror. It's like, oh, it's a mirror maze. Because you were saying, who's that other person? And we're like, oh, that's him. He's
Yeah, I didn't-
reflecting in the game.
But then there is another person
Then
in
there's
the
a
game.
There's a blue
person.
man.
Which I don't know if that's a reveal that he's playing a 2-player game.
Yeah.
Is that a reveal?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
this guy.
this is also the only time the 2-player option appears in
Ever.
the movie
Yeah.
at all.
It's only for her to screw up his high score.
And that's it. Yeah.
Well, so the bully is introduced.
I mean, he
He's-
goes.
yeah.
He
his
bets
name's
$20 he's
Dwight.
gonna lose.
He's
200.
wearing like a piece of like tablecloth fabric as a shirt.
right.
And he just comes up and he's like $20 on who we don't know yet to lose. And then
And what does he say while he's playing? He's like, choke.
yeah.
Choke.
Yeah.
And then he does. He fucking gets shot by the robot, and he takes his helmet off, and he sees it's a girl. It's Ethan Embry, and he sees it's a girl, and he's like, "What the fuck was that?" And she's like, "Whatever, dude," and like starts walking away.
Yeah.
And he chases after her. It's just like
He chases after her to complain.
that.
And
So
we
we
find
jumped in
out
the game. That
they
she
stopped
was
in the
like,
hallway.
"It's a free game. It's America. Like I can play a game." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm
But
running
apparently-
for the championship."
Yeah, apparently this was the championship, but there
So
was no
no-
news cameras. There was no like this. We find out this is sponsored by a giant company.
Well, because they're standing in front of the display that says you win a real Evolver.
Well, he goes,
Yeah.
"This championship.
See, look,
what are
I'm
you
trying to
dumb?"
win. Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you live on a rock?" And she's like, "I just moved here from Ohio." And it's like, "Oh, okay.
just happened into this
You just didn't realize-
championship conversation.
You moved into
and beat you.
Dude, did they ever say where it is? It's just a town. We know she's from Ohio, and it's a plane ride away. Because
It's Silicon Valley.
It must be because the corporation that owns the video game is local, I assume.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
It is
has to
definitely
be.
local.
It's
And it has to be a
100%
local
local.
championship because it's just between her who just moved here and walked in and played, and him who's
Yeah, why
been
wasn't
preparing for it.
If it was an official thing, why wouldn't there someone be
There's
there
no
being
cameras,
like, "Yeah,
no
there can't no
reporters.
2-player." Like you,
It's for a real robot
you
in
should have been able
1996.
to just walk
A
up and be
real
like,
robot!
Where is the King of Kong referee? Where's
Yes!
Billy Mitchell? Like,
Billy Mitchell should have been there trying to win that robot. That would have been the shit.
Oh my god.
play the
that'd be-
tape.
Selling hot sauce in the parking lot and talking shit
can-
on children.
You
would
can lose
be-
your life, but don't lose this game.
Oh my god.
Oh, so yeah, it's revealed
Okay.
that
Yeah,
they're playing for a real robot
A real version of the robot that tries to kill you in a video game.
in a video
But he
game.
lost by like a couple points.
Right.
Well, it shows him at home, and he's like hacking into the company.
We haven't got there yet because
Oh,
it cuts.
true.
Yeah, hold on.
Are you sure?
I'm
Oh,
pretty
the
sure it
science
cuts from
stuff.
the sign on the like billboard
Yes,
to the
lab.
company, which was called Cybertronics,
Yeah, that sounds about
Right?
right.
Sure.
spelled like cyber and then,
words.
and then Tron, then IX, because it's
I thought
Because
it
they
was
love
like two
Tron.
words. It's just
Because
a
they were
little-
trying. They were.
it's hip.
Calling
Had
it
an
back.
X instead of
That's right.
CKS. Fuck you.
It's fucking
Dude, all their
edgy.
signs look like big
And-
magnets that they
Yeah.
plaster on
And-
things.
and
It's like a
kind of
Superman,
It's a Superman symbol.
that is reformed Cybertronics.
And like gray and boring.
Yeah.
And it takes place like the lab just looks like one of those the place that like all movie studios must have rented in the 90s. It's just like 30-foot tall white warehouse ceilings. Everything's just bland as can be.
The outside looks like the biodome,
Yeah,
sort of.
and then
Yeah,
there's a
it's
counter
just-
with like a measuring tape and some beakers on it, and they're like, "This is where science is
Well,
done."
because like Paul Dooley, who's the guy who owns the company,
Mhm.
is talking to Q, who is the guy who's creating Evolver, right?
Yeah.
And he's like pouring himself coffee from a beaker.
yes,
And he
Yeah.
adds sugar
In a
out
science
of- or-
lab, even though
He
it's
puts
not
sugar
that,
out of a
it's not
Even
a
though it's
biological
not- yeah, it's
science
not about-
lab.
It's a
I'm like,
computer science lab.
Beakers in
I
there.
was like, why
No
is a
beaker.
beaker in like a?
No one does biology or any chemistry at all.
He's a
They
programmer.
they do say it has like a neural net. I don't know. Do they have to like make brain juice or something for it? I don't know.
They never
man.
get that far.
I don't know.
But
What do
they
they
have
say?
to do it. They have to. They talk about how this has to be a success. Or
They
something.
talk about how it's to be a success. We also see him like he's looking on his computer and it says like sword.
Was that then or later?
No,
Is that
I'm pretty
after his
sure
boss
That
walks
was the
away?
end of this. Yeah, at the before
the-
this transitions out of the science lab.
Because it was basically just Paul Dooley saying this needs to work.
And he's
Is
like,
this
"Don't
ready?
worry, it will work.
It will work.
It'll
It
be
has
great.
to. It's my life's work." Yeah.
Work.
I've done everything.
Because he goes to his computer and he's like typing something and mysterious music happens and it says S period, W period, O period, R period, D period.
So at that
Sword.
point, we're like, okay, so he's a
He's
villain.
he's making evil
I
robots.
assumed he was evil.
So did
Yeah,
I.
I mean,
Yeah.
they let you think
he
that
all
for a
but,
long
like,
time.
He all but had lightning bolts behind him and like brought his hands up.
Those kids
Get
will
him,
pay.
Evolver.
Yeah, and then
So then we go to the
yeah,
kid.
then we go to the kid's house.
We meet his younger daughter. This is Ethan
Who's
Embry's
cooking
daughter,
meatloaf.
who's like 8 years old, and she's complaining that her meatloaf's getting dry,
While she prepares a salad.
but just pouring
with
vinegar
white
into
vinegar and just dumping it on it. And
And
it's just water. She's 8. What the fuck does she know? You just wet. Salad's wet. She's just dumping water.
So
on
she's
shit.
like
Once
the-
again, an establishing thing like that. The mom's never there. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm like, is this like a? It's trying to establish like a hierarchy to the family. Like she's going to be in charge of,
And the
of
mom's
the
never
family, but it's
home,
not
and-
really. She's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
I guess
She's trying to fill a void.
she's trying to hold it down.
She's just not much of a character.
No.
basically.
because their
She has-
dad is either dead or just not.
I don't know
there.
what's
I really
going
don't
on
think
with the
they
father.
said.
They don't say.
He's just not around.
He's in a
anymore.
picture. That's all I know. And he holds.
But he's
the
not going to
football.
need a dad. He's going to have an evolver.
But he's not because he lost.
It's right. He lost.
He
Yeah,
lost.
'cause
He's
he
not
hacked
winning it.
Cybertronic.
This girl who knows nothing about this is going to get
Is
this
gonna
robot.
Get this
No,
robot.
it wasn't her. It was some guy
Some
named
other kid.
Robbie
Well,
something or
In this
all.
scene,
In the scene, they established that he screwed it up. So
we're in his room, which is
No,
covered
he
in
was
90s
saying I
bullshit.
could have got more points and won the championship.
So it's not even like a champion. It's not even like an elimination thing. It's like
It's who got the
it's an
highest
overtime.
score.
You get a high score championship.
Because he got to the last level. You have to like beat the last level and get the highest score to win the
Yeah.
contest. It's a video game.
So it wasn't a
contest.
championship. Like this is.
That's what it is.
It's just some
Rob.
random.
I mean, how else?
Why
do you
were there
determine
40
the champion
people?
of the game, Rob?
Why were
Except
40
by
people
who
there?
gets the
Are-
highest score?
Are 40 people there all the time watching 2 people play? Then is it
Yes.
championship or
Man,
not?
I don't know. Maybe all those people were competing. That's why they were so excited.
Or were
They
they
were
there to
betting on
gamble?
themselves.
Who the fuck knows? Because there's no one in that building for the rest of the movie except 2 stones that we'll get to later.
Oh my
But, like,
God.
that room, no one goes there. I'm
No.
assuming that
Of course
was the
not. It was like a
tournament.
sex dungeon. No one should be there.
There wasn't even an employee.
It's a fucking.
Yeah, how the fuck did they have data on the scores
There's
when
not-
there was nobody there from Cybertronics?
There wasn't even a place to put money in the machine.
There were no sodas or drinks or dispensaries of
Nothing.
any sort.
It's like if you put a DDR machine that you never had to pay for in a room and just said, "Kids, go here."
Yeah,
That sounds like
that's
they were
only
trying to
accessible
kidnap
in the
somebody.
back alley in like city
And
center.
it doesn't have a door; it just has like
A
neon
beads
sign.
and something.
That's
That
like
says games.
games.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so we're in his like '90s room with a bunch of shit everywhere.
It's
and
like anything.
he's
of
with his
everything they
friend,
throw
right?
at
It's
all.
like him and his like
Yes.
the chubby
The one who
friend.
is apparently skilled enough to, or smart enough to run the gambling ring, because he was the one collecting
Right,
all
he
of
was
the
doing
bets.
the
He had
bookie.
like a Brooklyn kind of accent.
right.
He
But
calls
they're-
people bro.
But they're in
lot.
high
Yeah.
school, right? I
Yes.
He's just really he's got a lot of finesse. He's a money.
But he's
maker.
on. He rides. He's on the outside.
He's Styles from Teen Wolf. Okay. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know.
So
Look, so he hacks. So Ethan Embry hacks. What's his name? What's his name in the movie?
I don't fucking
cares,
know.
It doesn't
man.
fucking
Evolver's the only one that
Yeah,
matters.
Evolver.
He's player one.
He
Doesn't
player
fucking
one
matter.
hacks the mainframe of Cybertronics just to see the score.
If his score was
Yeah, well,
high enough.
they never explain why. We figure he's hacking to like hack in
Yeah.
to like change
Cheat.
something.
But we don't see him in
But
the
no, his
scene
friend's
do
like, change
anything.
your score, man. He's like, nah, I can't win like that. That's not cool. And that scene ends, and then they're at school the next morning, and he's like,
The bully's like, hey, where's my $200? I
Oh,
He
bet.
yeah.
steals 50 from him, and
Yeah,
then it's like,
yeah.
you owe me 150, asshole.
And then we cut back to Ethan Embry's house, and they're like, you won! You won
they pull
fucking
up and
Evolver!
The Evolver's there! Yay!
And his friend's like, what? You changed the
you
score?
changed the score,
Yeah,
but they
dude,
never
whatever.
confirms
Burn if
or
he
denies
did.
it. So I'm like, I guess
no,
he
it was
did.
off screen. He hacked it.
he went back and was like,
So they
you know
didn't
what,
have the
I-
money in the budget of this film to just show like a couple of typing and just the numbers move up.
And him going, I did it.
I did it.
That's all you need.
Maybe that was like the turning point. They wanted that to be. We need it to be as surprised as the friend.
As the friend, yeah. Well,
Like,
they get
whoa,
home.
he did it.
You've got it's Paul Dooley and Q, and they got like their whole Cybertronics team bringing Evolver in.
They roll this like cryo fridge into the house that's leaking.
When the
mist.
mother knows nothing.
Oh yeah,
of
she's
this.
like, you didn't tell me
Dude,
about this.
it's
What the
all-
fuck
You
is
were in a
this?"
championship. What?
The mom doesn't even know it exists. Like, and then they're outside on the porch arguing, and then Paul Dooley like sticks his out. He's like, "Hey, we're ready." And like the whole team is in the house.
They just let themselves in.
The whole family's still outside. They're in there doing shit.
We're just about to release this death robot in your house.
You might want to be present.
So they sort of unveil it like Bicentennial Man, where they sit the family down and they make this big speech about how it's the changing evolution technology, and the thing, like you said, it's like a mini fridge, but it drops down, drawbridge style. Smoke pours out
It's like
into
when
the
the
living room.
DeLorean is revealed
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Back to the Future. There's just smoke.
Yeah, on
and
that
the
level,
door
exactly.
falls down. Well, you know. No, it doesn't look that good, but yeah.
And then they unveil this is the future of entertainment.
Like awful. It's
Like,
so
we're
stupid
bringing
looking.
you like a neural net that's 40 times greater than the most powerful one on the market, not to help you or do any tasks or
to
anything,
try to hurt you.
but for entertainment.
it looks like
It
Rocky
has like a
the
Nerf
robot
gun for
from
an
the 80s.
arm and a fucking erector set for an
it's-
arm. It's like
It's
looks
plastic
terrible.
looking.
It's like if somebody watched Short Circuit and then made Johnny Five's arm from watching the movie, but not, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not having the plans. They just watched the movie and then made his arm.
Yeah.
And then he has the Nerf gun. That
Yeah, he just has a Nerf gun that shoots pellet things and bull crap.
and he
Ping pong
on
balls
his
or
body
something.
he has a bunch of targets.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
like 2 on the front, 2 on the back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
LED for like the old laser tag game.
Right,
Yes.
right. And then Q explains, we call him Q, like he has no name, he's not a human
Who
being.
cares? It's Professor Shumbada Bubba.
Yeah,
Who
whatever.
cares?
Q-
He's Q.
Explains there's 4, he opens a little case and there's 4 laser guns in it, and he's like, he explains that you shoot him during the game and he can shoot you back with the Nerf balls. And
It's like 4
And
shots.
every time you beat him, he gets smarter and harder.
He
to
evolves.
He evolves up to the
He
new level.
evolves.
But he has to record you as an enemy. So he takes a little digitized
Oh, yeah, they
snapshot
creep
of
it
your
out with
face,
this.
makes you an enemy, and you have to agree to play. Like he will go, "Do you want to play? Do you want to,
To
play?
play.
And you have to say yes, or he won't play. He'll just hassle you until you agree.
Also, the other catch is that he is constantly
Oh,
recording
Jesus Christ.
everything.
He is
Everything.
You don't turn it off. It
Edward
powers
Snowden would have a
itself by
field
playing-
day. He'd lose his mind.
It's insane.
Yeah, they just
and he just
drop
says
that.
it. He's just like, oh, and by the way, it's gonna spit out a disc every couple of days, full of everything it's seen.
Send it to
And
me.
then you just mail it to me, and I'll look at it. Cool. Family I don't know that has an 8-year-old daughter is never fucking watched. It's just like, what the fuck are you saying? Get out of my house. The mother didn't say a word about
I know,
that.
the fact that the mom says no opposition to this.
Nothing.
Oh, it's just gonna fill my family.
Okay, so it's a roving camera looking at everything we do.
Learning and figuring things out. Great.
Yeah, so it's and every time he's
Please.
defeated, he's supposed to learn because they show he like tries to
Get up a
navigate
step.
up a single step, and he goes, obstacle in the
and
way.
Then he knocks into a table. And
Yeah,
he's like, don't worry.
Boundary
He's gonna know
located.
he's mapping the room, and
He'll know it better than you do.
eventually.
I don't think he ever does, though.
Not really.
Yeah, maybe.
Except for
He
the
stops
very
hitting shit.
end.
Yeah.
The very end.
So then they launch into a uber-tastic like game.
They just hide behind sofas
He
and
like
shoot
bumbles
it with
around and
lasers.
shoots
It
ping
doesn't
pong
look
balls
fun.
at them.
He's so immobile.
Well, they have the game, and it shoots the little girl. The Evolver shoots the little girl, and she falls over, and it's like kill confirmed.
Also,
and then it
we
starts
should
going
say-
away, but then she shows up again. And
They're
it's
only
like,
wearing sunglasses. They don't wear like a laser
No,
tag
no,
suit.
no,
They're
yeah.
just wearing sunglasses.
And it shoots
and
little ping
they're
pongs
given
at 'em.
like
The
a
laser
toy
pistol.
gun
Toy-
that has a
toy
laser
laser guns,
pistol
right.
to it.
But she, I
but
was gonna say,
she gets back
yeah.
up, and it says kill not confirmed, and then it says like ammunition insufficient.
Yeah,
And it says something like that.
but it like says I don't know if it says it out loud and they're just not listening, or it says it to itself.
So,
like
yeah,
it's
I
like
know. It was,
inefficient ammunition or something like that.
does it
'cause-
think to
Because
itself?
there is like a
You think?
there's an
I don't know. It
there's
was
a
through
Evolver
its eyes when
Vision.
It said
Is
that.
Evolver
Yeah,
Vision.
it was
It's
Evolver
like-
Vision. It said
There's
that.
a lot of evolvers.
really
yeah, there
colorful.
is, and it's just like just a shitty graphic in the middle of the videos.
But it has
With
like a
William
rainbow
H. Macy
blur
voiceover.
around the sides of it, so I'm like, what is? So I guess it's kid-friendly Terminator
It
Vision.
looked like Nick Arcade. It looked like Nick Arcade. So
So it just goes apeshit on the little girl.
They
and
start
it's
shooting her with Nerf balls.
everything as hard as it can, and it freaks her out. And then
trying to kill her.
Ethan Embry like shoots it, and it's like bullseye. You win, player one.
Yeah.
Play again. And he's like, nah.
And then it evolves.
Oh wait, the girl has showed up. At
The
this
girl
point.
showed up.
Yeah.
So
She showed up before the
Right?
game.
Yeah.
The
started.
girl's there, the friend's there. Yeah, the girl's like, I just moved in, I tracked you down, found your address, I'm
Well,
here.
she was like, my friend told me where you lived. I figured I'd come and talk
And
to
this
you
is
about
why I
what
thought she
happened.
was second place, because I thought she was like, I really want to see that robot that I should have won.
No, she was like,
but
I just came to
no.
apologize, but now I see you won it, so
let's play.
And then she's part of that battle.
Yeah, and
Battle. It was the first battle.
So they defeat Evolver.
It's important though, because the robot defines everyone it sees as enemies. So like, Ethan Embry is enemy 1.
She's
I think
she's 3.
I think his sister's
2.
2.
No, his friend was 2.
It's important.
Yeah.
His sister, yeah.
It-
The girl was 3. And
It
his
was way
sister
more
4.
important
This
than
is
I
incredibly
thought it was gonna
important.
be.
Number 1's the most.
number one's the most.
one is the important.
Yeah.
He's the only one who beats him.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get there.
So he
Yeah, we're
gets
gonna get
defeated,
It's a tease.
and then he announces
foreshadowing.
he announces that he's about that he's evolving because
He's like, I have evolved to level 2. Do you want to play? And they're like,
and
nah.
then what his little ping pong pistol thing.
Has reveals.
It's like
that it has
it's not
missiles.
little balls anymore. It's like the longer Nerf.
He's got
bullets.
Nerf missile rockets.
Yeah.
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 But the balls
It's
are
like the
still there.
it's like the cylinder.
He
shape.
still has
The
balls.
balls are still there. He can just do more now.
Now he has
Yeah.
2 attacks.
They can, like,
instead of
morph.
1.
Is that when the laser came out?
No,
No,
that's
later.
that's-
That's
so
level 3.
Then he
Sorry.
goes to his room to hang out, but he seems really frustrated, even though he has this toy that he won.
So he hacks it.
So he's trying to hack it.
He
while,
attaches the like SCSI port or whatever.
Yeah.
To it.
While
'Cause
the-
there's one just in it in the back.
It's
And
a
the toy doesn't-
32 port, a
Yeah.
32 pin port. Everybody,
But Evolver
everything has
doesn't
a
care.
32 pin port.
Evolver gives no shits that his back's open.
No.
Well, he
he's
turned
just
him
like
off,
he's like
didn't he?
no,
No,
he's
he's
looking at
looking
stuff.
around.
No,
That's
because
right,
remember
he's looking
he's
at
looking
shit.
around and he picks up the ball bearing because Ethan Embry has a little tray of
A
ball bearings
Yeah.
and he picks it up
Why?
and stares at it and it looks exactly the same size as the Nerf balls.
Yeah, they're like almost
Yeah.
pinball size.
Yeah, they're pinballs.
But like, why? Why?
Maybe they're pinballs. He stole
just
pinballs.
He
collect-
has rollerblades.
Well, they maybe when they were closing
Got a
down all
new
the other
diving
games in the
sign.
arcade, he was like, "Give me your pinballs, because all you have now is Evolver."
So he sees in the computer, he sees sword.
Yeah, he's like, "What's this sword?"
What is this sword thing?
He
And then-
asks Evolver what sword is, and it drops the
Yeah, his sword's like.
it drops the ball bearing, and it's like infiltrate. What is it? Infiltrate.
Enemy.
I don't remember.
But he picks up a
Identify,
kaleidoscope
infiltrate.
too,
Oh, that's
and he's
right.
like, "Is this a weapon?" Because all he cares, and even
He only cares about
Ethan
weapons.
Embry's like, "Man, you have a one-track mind." It's like, but he looks through it, and Ethan Embry describes like, "Yeah, it's just for
That
splitting
kaleidoscope
up your
will
vision."
come
And he's
back.
like, "Oh, so it's useless."
That
And puts
kaleidoscope
it
does
down.
come back, yeah.
Everything pays off in this
That
movie.
was
Chekhov's gun.
That was the Chekhov's gun.
We knew it. We knew it comes
He
back.
said it was worthless. But
Why
we knew
wouldn't
it
you
wasn't.
program this thing and bring you drinks and shit? It has an arm. Like
It's on
you
all
don't want
the
you don't
time.
want to
That's
be
the
playing the
creepiest
game.
thing.
I think we should also state that when it's chasing them around and shooting them with its one arm, its other hand arm
It's doing
is
nothing.
just making like
It's like
Chris
cradling
Elliott,
invisible balls.
Scary
It's
Movie
just
2
Like
hand.
it's popping balls or something.
constantly.
Oh. Yeah.
And let's not forget that it does have that arm does have a function. Out of one of the fingertips, a two-prong for
God.
charging.
Yeah, for
Which
charging
he's
it.
he's sitting.
He
This is
likes-
the initial part of that scene. Is he's sitting charging, and then Ethan Embry's like, "That's enough of that for you."
You've had enough.
You've had
charging.
It's
enough.
weird that Ethan Embry knows.
What
like,
does that
Does it
mean?
say in the manual, "Do not overcharge him. He might become sentient and kill everything"?
Well, in the manual,
Is that what it's? Because he's like insistent. No, that's enough.
You've had enough.
also the manual's written like an old Constitution like textbook.
It's just blocks of
Yeah.
text.
It had an overview and then a summary.
Yeah.
Those were the headings.
But you can't overcharge something like that.
Well,
It
I think
doesn't-
he even says, "Are you done charging?" And
He's like,
Evolver's like,
"No."
"No," and he's like, "Well, that's enough anyway."
What does that mean?
Like if you were like, "I'm done charging my phone for the evening."
Dude, that thing in '96 must be. They need so much power to run. Remember how like remote control cars and shit? How
Yeah.
you get like 10 minutes?
Why the
it.
fuck is it on when you're not playing with it? That is what I don't understand. Why
That's what I'm
the fuck
saying. Why isn't
on?
it like a maid? It should also do all this other shit.
It's their fault for leaving it on all the time.
Wait,
Why
wait,
was
wait.
it nerd?
It is a Roomba.
If you only turned
Yeah,
it on
no.
and played with it.
Sean's right.
yeah, it is a
the way
Roomba.
that it refills is it sucks all the Nerf shit back up.
yeah,
It
it's
drives
literally
around.
just
got a
rides
vacuum.
over it and vacuums it up.
Yeah.
Why the fuck doesn't anyone just turn it off? It doesn't make any sense.
Because
Because
it's
it
the
can
future
turn
of
itself back
entertainment.
on.
Man, it's a full.
It's not even
entertainment
entertaining when you're not
experience of
playing the
life.
game. It's not like it sits there.
It's
and-
annoying.
It's just like,
It's
hey, do you want to play?
hey,
Hey, do you want to
play.
play?
No.
Hey, do you
Hey, you want to play? No.
Jesus Christ, no!
Dude, I'm trying to make dinner! No! Like, you would lose your mind after a while. Just turn it off.
Okay. Then he looks at.
Sorry.
Then he looks over at the TV, which the kid has on, even though he's hacking. And on the TV are like LA riot footage.
And the road.
And the blower's like absorbing.
Yeah, I
the
think doesn't even
See,
like
he
say
says
like
a new
this is a
game.
new type of game. Like,
Yes.
and it's like
It's
unfortunately
like-
it's like a black man being beat by cops.
I know, yeah, it's
It's
like
like-
not okay. Don't.
It's horrible.
It's not okay.
And it's like
It's a new game.
it's a
It's
new,
a new
game.
game. It's like
Oh.
Tiananmen Square or something. It's like, no. Why is that on television right now?
Yeah, why-
So I'm like, what is he
watching
watching?
that
It didn't look like a news report. It
It's
just
just
looked
like,
like
a
footage.
montage
It's
of
in the-
riots.
You
He's
remember
watching Faces of Death.
Don't you remember-
And Bob's like, oh, games.
in the 90s, there were just TV channels that showed violence. Don't
That's
you
right.
remember?
I forgot. It's
Oh.
before we were enlightened.
Yeah.
TV was
Before
just-
they regulated television.
So where does it even go from there?
He
Okay.
learns
They
some
take
shit.
it to school so that
Oh.
they can
Yes.
spy
The
on the
dumbest
women's
fucking
locker
thing,
room.
yeah.
It turns into Porky's
Because
for a minute.
his,
Yes, it
his
does.
best friend wants
To sell the disc.
to sell the tapes of all the girls in school changing.
The volleyball
Oh, I guess we
team.
should also say that after the one game, his disc was full, so he pops in a new
He
one.
pops in a new
and
disc.
he sends it to
He sends it away.
Q
Yeah,
in the science
Yeah.
lab.
sends it to Q.
So it's got its new disc. It's in the
So-
locker room hiding in a towel.
Yeah,
thing.
there's
They cut the bottom out of a towel bin so that he could control it.
Yeah.
And move
But
around.
what I'm
around.
curious is like, did they give him directives? Like, what was his? Because he's
Because
controlling
he only
it.
knows about playing games too.
So
he
he's
doesn't
just-
like do missions. And
No,
stuff.
But,
It's the
but
only
he's
time he
literally
does.
They
just
just shove
spying.
him in a room.
Like, it's not like he's under the laundry.
Think
like,
about
going,
this for
you
a
want
second,
to play? Do you want to play?
No,
Just
he's-
throw
that
this
would
out
have been
there.
awesome.
These two, they get this fucking advanced technology, and the one function that they decide to use to film girls is the recorder function. They could have just hid in the towel rack
Themselves
themselves with a
with
a camera.
camcorder. 96 definitely had camcorders.
Yes.
You didn't need a sentient gaming robot
I know.
to reveal, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Could you imagine you're in that high school and some dude's like, hey man, you want to buy a fucking DVD, like a CD-ROM? A CD-ROM is 1996. Hey man, you want to buy a CD-ROM?
It's no DVD.
That has,
Yeah.
that has fucking like video, quote unquote, of the girls volleyball team, and then you're like, okay, yeah, and you buy it, you get home, you put it in, and then it's like this weird robot vision that says like,
Kill not confirmed.
kill not confirmed, and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to jerk off here. What the fuck?
They're like,
It's all this weird shit about
because it
murder.
records 24/7, and the disc was started. It's like you just have to scrub through about 8 hours of me sleeping in my room at night.
Not to mention them incriminating themselves by talking about how they're going to infiltrate a woman's
Yeah, it's on
bathroom.
the tape right
I'm
before
just saying they
having-
could have done all this with a regular camcorder.
No.
It'd been a lot safer.
It
I don't know. I just love the idea.
Instead of lugging like a 300-pound machine that might work when it's by itself.
The girls see it immediately, and they
Well, no,
throw
it,
it.
it films like two rows. The girl
Yeah,
who
yeah.
he
There's
just
actual
met
nudity
sees
in it, I
yeah.
guess.
There's
Was
like-
this
there's
rated
a few-
R or PG-13 back then?
I don't know.
Ours is R.
It's
Oh.
on YouTube.
Oh boy,
But
Well, listen,
she.
the robot threatens people's lives.
that's,
Yeah.
that's much later.
Yeah, hold on. But the girl that fucked up the game at the beginning that he met.
She sees
She
the
sees
wheels.
and notices the wheels and goes, "That's disgusting. What a pervert. I'm gonna." But doesn't say anything to anyone.
But
in
she
there.
has no knowledge
She
of the
doesn't go, "Hey
recording.
everybody, there's a robot
Right?
filming us."
Beat
Right.
the shit out of it and steal the
She was
footage.
not there for the recording information being given. She doesn't know that it's recording. She just thinks that they sent a robot in.
No, I think she
she
knows
knows
about the
about
recording thing.
It's off screen that she would know.
I would
Because
hope.
They didn't. She was not there when it was discussed.
Yeah, so what would
I
her
don't know.
perspective of it be
Anyway,
then?
I don't know.
Get your game playing robot out of here!
Anyway, eventually
They
it
just
bumps.
sent a robot in to fuck with women.
We don't want your robot in here.
It gets it's like it's pushed out of the women's locker room,
Right.
And it
But
makes its way.
No, it doesn't though. It bumps into a woman and she's like, "Ah, what the fuck is this?" And it's like, "Do you want to play?" And she's like, "No," and she freaks out. and then it just cuts to the male locker room with a naked guy's
he's
butt.
right. It does cut.
It doesn't show. He didn't get forced out of
Because it
the
just
locker room.
shows that
he
dude's
just went
ass.
deeper into more locker rooms. No one did fuck all about a robot roving around the fucking locker room. Multiple people knew about it, and they just went about their business until it ended up in an empty locker room.
No, it's
with
a
naked
hard
guy.
cut to a dude's ass. Like
Yes.
straight ass. For
It's
like,
Dwight's ass, the
Dwight's
bully
ass,
from earlier
right.
that they owes $150 to.
and then he starts changing, and that's when
He has the
Evolver-
smallest
towel.
smallest towel.
the smallest towel ever.
Evolver approaches him, and he's like, "Do you want to play?" And he's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
And he goes, "Yeah, let's play." And he goes, "Okay." And it's like, "You're player 5." And then he grabs it by its like shoulder handles and just throws it, and it slides and bangs its head on a locker
sideways.
Side.
Because
It's
this
on
is an
its
important.
side.
For
Yes,
some reason,
I
this
do
movie,
not understand
It's a
why this
big
is
This
deal.
is to establish that Evolver does learn.
He's learning.
because
learning.
he had fallen over during the first game,
And they had to
and he
pick
was
him
like,
up.
"I need
pick
assistance,"
him
and
up.
someone picked him up. So now this is established
he's-
in real time.
He's in level 2.
Like we had to see like his gears turning literally,
there's like a close up of it, and then it shows his hand like
slowly move.
They
and
should
then...
play like Thus Spoke Zarathustra or something.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
He like pushed himself up. Like, oh my god, he can not. He can
So
get up.
Then there's a little nod to the audience because it does a gentle push in on his shoulder where we can see the ammo, the ping pong balls from earlier. But not only
They
are there
start
the pink
cycling
ones, they start
through.
cycling, and you see a couple of the ball bearings. Then it oddly zoomed into his neck.
right into his
When there is
neck.
no data transferred to the audience.
You're just like, okay, it's this black shapes. It's awesome.
Then he starts shooting the guy with the
he
ball
shoots
bearing.
right
the
in the
guy
eye.
right in his
Yeah.
fucking eye,
He's
man.
got his blood down his face.
Well, and at that time, we're trying to figure out how fast can this robot shoot
Because if you
balls.
put like a ball bearing in a Nerf gun, it would
It's,
just
not,
go.
it's just gonna hurt.
Yeah, we were theorizing if they were just gonna punch right through him
Yeah.
like a bullet, or
But
something.
it's clearly like it hit him in the eye. That's a
soft area.
soft
He's
area.
bleeding, but he bled
Then
a
it
lot.
hits him in the
Shoots
leg.
him in the leg, and he can't walk.
Can't
anymore.
walk. He backs up to a locker, but moves just in time to establish that the ball bearings are traveling fast enough to pretty sizable
it's like
dent.
a 2-inch
Yeah.
dent.
It's not through the locker, but it's a big dent. It would
That's
hurt.
the fuck out
No,
of
the
it.
dent is pretty. It would hurt.
And then
Yeah,
somehow
you could
he
probably
gets
kill
into a
someone.
stairwell, which geographically doesn't make
Who knows?
sense
Yeah,
to me
right
from
out
a
of
locker
the-
room.
right out
It
of
was
the
gonna be like
locker
at
room.
209. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna I just start falling
And then
no.
shoots him square in the forehead, and guy rockets down the steps.
Yeah, he like
It's-
flies backwards.
But he doesn't look like it. Kind of looks like he could survive it. And
Yeah, and there was no mark on his forehead at the end.
then it zooms in on his
He's
bloody
dead.
eye,
He's
and it
dead.
has in Evolver vision kill confirmed.
Revolver vision.
And later we find
Oh,
out that
Evo vision.
he had a broken neck.
Yeah.
So he's dead.
He's dead.
Well, we
But
don't
nobody
find
knows
out
this
for
for
a
a
Nobody
while.
knows that.
So
'Cause
then we cut back to the two friends, and they're just like, "Where the fuck is this robot? We gotta get out of here."
We need that
Right.
disc.
and
I'm
then,
gonna go in.
and then Evolver just shows up.
It's like
and
you
he's
want to
like-
play, and they're like, nah.
he shows up to
No.
from like the
The
other
other
side
side.
of them.
They,
Where
they
the
like
fuck
walk
did he
off to
go?
find him, and he just rolls up. He's like, "Beep beep, I'm here."
I was just chatting with teachers, I guess.
It's so easy to get caught.
It's a bomb robot roaming around the school.
But
Everybody's
in
like,
96 too. You know what I mean? Like the technology would be amazing.
People
People
be all
would be
over
losing their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be
it
able
would
to-
clearly
not be
they're
alone.
losing their minds over the game in the arcade.
They're betting money.
You would think every kid that saw this robot would be like, it's a famous thing that I've seen all weekend because I've been in that sex
No.
dungeon
No,
watching a person play.
only the 40 people in there.
know what
No.
Evolver is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
What if that is
underground
where that
society.
is? It's like that's part of a sex club, and it's just like the arcade attached to it, kind of like at like a bar that might have.
It
an
is called
arcade attached
virtual
to it.
excitement.
The man
Yeah.
statue is undressed, as far as I
Yeah.
can tell.
It's a naked man hooked up to a bunch of tubes. So
The
Might be,
Matrix.
and that's-
this whole thing is in the Matrix.
It's the all ages arcade attached to the adult entertainment
So
building.
where does it go from there? It's just
We
goes
They look for the
home.
robot. They go home, and he's like, we got to get the disc out now. And he's like, no,
It's gotta
It
record.
just spits that out when,
when
it's
it's
done.
full.
So we gotta-
they
we're gonna
can't
have to
eject
wait.
the disc. It has to be full.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Then he wants to know if they want to play for the millionth time,
Yes.
and they're like, "All right, okay, cool."
They play the beat 'em
So
again.
they play, and now we, the audience, know that he has a ball bearing left, just one.
Yeah, it's in there.
So he corners Ethan Embry.
Well, he thinks he's got him, and he's not
Yeah.
paying attention.
Call back.
But it's a mirror, like in the game.
So he shoots it. The mirror shatters into a million pieces. The mother's upstairs, not giving a shit, screams down, "What did you do? Clean up all
This
that broken
robot
glass."
is destroying our home.
But then tells them to clean up all the broken glass to like her 8-year-old
Deal with it.
daughter.
I'm
You deal with
selling
it.
another
I'm gonna go
house.
put my
And
makeup
as they're
on.
cleaning up, doesn't it look at Ethan Embry and it says "kill not confirmed" or something?
Yeah, it's some.
It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
at him while he's trying to clean up the glass, and then they notice the ball bearing.
And then so they
Well, he
they
also
defeated him.
shoots him, so he evolves again.
Yeah, they defeat him for the second time.
I know,
so
it just says player 1 wins.
Wins. Yeah, he
While
wins.
he's
He won
staring
that
and He's just
game.
watching him.
so then he needs to evolve to level 3.
And that means a tiny little...
So he does a bunch of spins with smoke coming out of his sides, then stops, and then a small compartment on his chest just pops open, and a little like nozzle comes
A
out.
laser pointer
And
exists
then
on his stomach.
It's like a
Yeah.
superimposed red line that's pointing to a random spot on the wall.
And they're like, wow.
And
I'm
it's
not
like laser
sure
equipped.
exactly what it
he
does.
never uses it for anything.
It's also really loud for a laser
He
pointer.
literally never uses it.
I guess it's just
Ever.
for targeting.
The best
Never
evolution
uses
is
he
the
misses
last.
a
He
lot.
misses
We'll
a
get
lot.
to it. Yeah.
So then it cuts to them at dinner, and they're all
Oh,
eating
God,
dinner.
Yeah.
And he's just in the.
I
For
have-
some reason,
I
there's a
have the
TV
exact
on the
quote.
kitchen counter.
You have the
but
exact quote.
It's
The exact
aimed.
quote.
It's aimed into the inner kitchen, so he's by himself, like E.T., just staring up at the TV.
He's watching some like action movie, and he hears
Yeah,
some
I'm telling you, it's
vulgar
just the
words
violence
said.
channel.
It's-
He's
so
watching the violence
He
channel
goes
again.
up, so he hears what these people say, and then he approaches.
It's just a woman with a guy holding a knife, to
knife
her neck.
to her yeah.
And he says something, but then
then
No, he says,
Evolver.
I've got a
Well, hold
fucking...
on. He's got the exact quote.
I got
okay.
verbatim.
Oh, beautiful.
So Evolver rolls up to the table, and the little 8-year-old girl is like just talking to him and calls him a jerk.
He asks what her knife...
Yeah,
He's
like,
he
what's
sees
that?
her
And-
holding a knife, and he's like, what is that?
She's like, it's for cutting food.
Yeah, she says it's a knife, you jerk. And then he says, I swear I'll cut your fucking throat. To an 8-year-old child at the dinner
And
table.
the mother's like,
and the
what
mother's
did
like,
he just
"What?"
say?
And then doesn't he say
She's
a second
so
thing?
calm.
He says it like
He goes,
again.
I'll kill her, I'll kill this bitch or some
He
shit.
says something like, yeah,
And
he
you're like,
backs it
whoa.
up.
Again, keep in mind this is William H. Macy.
William H. Macy says that.
It's great.
You'll never see another movie where William H. Macy as a robot says that to an 8-year-old girl. Ever.
Ever.
Cut her
This is it.
fucking throat.
Amazing.
If you were the
You
mom at
fucking
that
bitch.
point, if you
Like,
were the
robot
mother,
is gone.
yeah, that's it.
The robot has
excuse
inquired what the knife is in her hand and then promptly threatened to cut her throat.
The robot with opposable working digits that can
That you were
pick things
exploring
up.
is supposed to get smarter than you, so it's hard to fight. Jesus
And it's
Christ.
but this is fine. The robot's just absorbing too much television.
I think he was just watching TV. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Why
what the kid
is
says.
his friend to murder your child in front of you? What?
Why are you leaving
He
your
called you a
entertainment?
bitch.
Why is your
Get it out of the house.
It's totally called an 8-year-old girl. Bitch.
Why is your entertainment
This is
system
it,
on
bitch.
when you're not playing with
Take
it?
the
It's
batteries
the
out.
90s. It's excess. Everything was just on.
I just leave my NES on all the
That's
time.
right, the robots are on all the time. They don't even think of it because every TV in the house is playing people being murdered. I guess this is normal. That's why you can't have a robot in your house trying to murder your daughter. You're like, it's fine. Because
So
she's just telling homes because people are getting killed constantly and you gotta flip over all these murder houses because no one is living.
Gotta miss the 90s.
so then
Violence everywhere. Drugs.
because the TV's also on in the living room, they discover that
You're right.
Exactly.
It's insane. They never turn
they
anything off.
just hear the news report that the bully at the school's been murdered.
Yeah,
or
right.
not murdered, but
He's
he's
dead.
dead, broken neck, and all that.
Sad.
So they're like, well, that sounds odd. He wouldn't have done this or something. So don't they plan on investigating?
The girl,
The girl one,
yeah, she's like, hey, let's go into the locker room and see if we can find stuff. And he's like, well, what? Which I also would have been like, police investigating things. Like, what the fuck are we going to find? But they find the dent.
All they find is the dent.
And she's like, what if...
No, don't they find a ball bearing in there?
No, they just
No,
find
yeah, they
the
just-
Because he
Oh
sucked all the
no!
ball
They
bearings up.
find the ball bearing
From the broken
from
mirror.
the broken
the
mirror.
mirror.
Yeah.
They found the ball bearing in the broken
And she's
mirror.
like, "What's this?" And he's like, "I keep ball bearings. I don't.
He's
It's
like,
from
I
my
must have
room."
sucked it up off the floor by accident.
Yeah.
I
I
just
usually-
have buckets of them.
I
which
have
is
a lot of
true.
these
He
things.
just has like
Whenever I'm
containers.
watching Faces of Death, I throw them at my sister.
I like to shove them on my
Happy
dick hole.
1996.
It's like Benoit balls for his dick hole. He just sees how many he can get in
God.
there.
The more pain I feel, I feel more alive every one I get in.
God.
Jesus
bitch.
Christ.
Fake.
So while they're like investigating in the locker room, the friend who was once the nudie pics
Yeah.
is
Breaks
like,
into
all
the
right,
house.
come on, Evolver. We're going to get this fucking disc out. Takes him back to
Drives
his,
him back to his
drives him to
This is
his
important.
house. And
Evolver
Revolver
vision.
remembers.
It says route has been stored or
Yeah.
archived.
Route
or
saved, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Route recorded.
So then he just
Do you
like...
want a cup, man? There are cups.
No,
Rob's drinking out of a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew.
it's just one of them days.
Okay.
So the friend just grabs like a screw, like a pair of pliers and rips the disc out. It's all scratched
it
that up.
off.
Yeah, I know.
It's like 80% damaged, we later find out.
You could totally have done it with your hand, too.
Yeah.
But you also have to recognize what's in the garage when they walk in, because it's pure
oh,
setup.
yeah.
Like you
It's-
see it immediately.
it is a
There is a
car-
car propped up extremely
single jack.
high on a single jack with both of its front tires off, and like no one's doing any work on it. This
Yeah,
is just part of the furniture.
He gets the disc out. He makes a phone call to someone that he can sell the disc to.
He
He's
doesn't
like, I
even
got it.
check the disc at
No,
this
he's
point.
like, I
Remember, he's
got
like,
it.
"Dude, I got them nudes."
This could be a pro. I don't even know how you think you could watch. In 96, you assume that you could watch whatever's on that disc.
It's just
There's
some
also
kid.
a murder
He's a
on
fucking
it.
military grade murder robot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well,
He's
remember-
like, they're in there, man.
He looks at the disc and it's like horribly fucking
It is
scratched.
so
and he's
fucked
like,
up.
"Oh, I don't." He shrugs and goes, "I don't care as long as I see faces and boobs." Like he knows it's damaged, but so he makes
He's
his
used
call.
to jerking off the scramble porn.
Oh,
on
yeah.
He makes his
cable.
call, and we see in the background or whatever we see from Evolver Vision that he
turns
he
himself
has
back
found a
on.
saw blade.
Well,
Yeah,
he turned himself back on.
that's
It was
right, because he
off.
was off, and he comes
just
back
turns
on,
back on, which is
and we
insane.
see that he has found a saw blade.
And then
So he's
starts
holding it.
asking
And he's
if he
holding
can
it, which
play.
then to me, I'm like, did he in his spare time off screen watch another episode of something where they're like threatening people's lives with saw blades?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Texas Chainsaw
Yeah, 'cause, like,
Massacre.
he had
or
to-
He probably
like-
saw somebody cut a tree down. He's like,
well,
"We
because
can cut a
so far
human
they've
down."
established like he has to pick things up and then go like, "What's a kaleidoscope?"
I was kind of hoping.
and then someone says, and he goes, "Oh, it's not a weapon."
were you
and
guys
throws it
hoping that
away.
when he picked the saw blade up, like his hand would kind of reform and it would
And
like
it was attached.
yeah, it would go like zzz, and start
Yeah.
spinning really hard
Because he's called Evolver.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
I thought that was gonna happen. No, he just like he basically clocks him in the leg.
Well, remember
He just
the
whips
rules.
around.
He
The guy
agrees.
comes around and he's like, "What are you doing up? I didn't
Oh,
power
right.
you on." And he's like, "You want to play?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You want to play?" So this is just a constant theme that he has to ask you.
Nothing
needs
can happen
consent.
without consent.
And then I think the guy like kind
at
of is like,
least
"Yeah,
they had
whatever."
that. At least there was consent.
But for a robot, like,
Yeah.
Robot,
So
yeah.
so the guy's like, even though, and also I feel like the Evolver needs some fine tuning because like there's no like the other person doesn't have a weapon, like because
Yeah,
he
he didn't
didn't
have-
bring
No,
the
he was
gun
just
with
some
him.
guy not wearing
Yeah.
anything, not wearing the glasses or
Yeah,
having
there's like
a
no
pistol.
like, but the guy goes, "Yeah, whatever," and then he immediately like without warning just clocks him in the knee with the saw blade.
yeah.
And he's like, "Oh God, what's going on?" And then it starts spinning around really
I thought,
fast.
see, at that point, I thought he was gonna like come closer to him, and it was gonna be one of those like
Oh,
feeling
okay.
of dread, like because the thing's basically
No,
a
it
working
just lets
saw
go
blade, but he
of the
just
saw blade.
home run or shock puts it to
Yeah,
him,
shot puts it.
Yeah.
and
It
guy gets out of the
misses.
way in time.
He goes around the car underneath, and that's when Evolver
Gets an axe.
gets the hatchet.
With
It's
the
a
axe, it's like chasing him around the car,
Yeah.
and then he goes under it.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then-
Evolver's like,
I'm
running
done with
around
this.
the edges. Just he says game over, and then
Hits
lowers
the
the.
yeah.
He's got a sense of
He's got a sense of humor, yeah. And
He's evolved.
he drops the car on him. Like, hey, and we just see his hand like kind of move.
So he's
Yeah.
not-
Also,
so
I
he's
feel
still
like
alive.
I was gonna say I think we should address it now because we never see this kid again. He survives. They tell
And
us
he
this.
knows the Evolver's killing people
Yeah,
because
but
he almost
he
got
never
killed.
says anything because
No.
we never
He's gotta
see
be
that
in a
character
coma.
He's in a coma.
ever
He
again.
crushed his lungs. Oh, I bet he broke every.
But they
rib.
say
He
he's
can't breathe or
fine.
talk.
And as a word, they say he's fine.
Well, yeah, later they
do
find
say
him and they
he's
were like,
fine.
it was just an
Fine.
accident. Like
I think they said he's.
he
gonna
only had a
live.
saw
I don't think
blade
they said he
wound.
was
No,
fine.
they definitely say he's fine after he's gonna live.
I think what happens here is the car gets lowered on him. Then we cut back to Cybertronics when Q is watching the original disc,
Yeah, and he sees how
and he
scared
sees
the little
how
girl
he
is. and
sees
he's
him
like,
attacking the girl with Nerf balls.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
then him
something's
and Dooley
wrong.
talk about
about
Santa Claus.
yeah, and lumps of coal.
Yeah,
That's a whole like side story that just
doesn't
timeline wise it can
Dooley's
kind of
just-
fit
yeah,
anywhere
he's
in
just
there.
Like,
Yeah.
this needs to be good for families. It's too scary.
They're
blah
both
blah blah.
actually-
It's outside of the demographic.
They're
it's
both
fine.
good people. They're not. The
Evolver's
villain.
Yeah, I was gonna
perfect.
say at this
No.
point I'm really confused because I'm like,
Evolver is the villain. There's no other villain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Q is just a fuck up.
Yes,
He's not a
just
villain.
really
He's a
but
fuck
why
up.
did he want Sword to be on the
I don't
toy?
know.
Yeah, I don't.
We're not
that.
like we're not there yet. But
Do we ever get there?
We get there because they have that.
Not really.
Because Ethan Embry eventually goes there. We're not there yet. We're not. He goes. He goes to Cybertronics.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we'll get to it, but I agree with Rob
get to
before
that.
we're there.
We don't ever really
Okay.
find out what it is.
Yeah.
No. So the Santa Claus conversation the lump of coal conversation happens, which doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah.
to us it's important.
then Ethan Embry and the girlfriend at random, looking for Evolver, show up at the friend's house because the police and everybody are there.
But
No,
they're at
no,
home.
no,
They're
no,
at home,
no,
and they're
they
like,
get
"Where
home,
is he?
you
Where's
know,
my
right, they're
robot?"
like, "Where the
And then,
fuck is
and then
it?"
he's like, "It just smells like Sam's job or work," and
Or
so that's what they
Zach.
do.
Yeah, it was whatever his
Sam.
name.
Whatever
Zach.
his name
Zach
is.
Sam
He
John.
Zach.
goes. They leave.
Call him Chubbo,
Then it
it's fine.
shows on the way back from murdering the friend, player 2, he goes past the virtual place. The virtual.
Also,
Oh my God,
Also,
yeah.
this scene is awesome.
Also, I just realized now that we're doing this, when they like arrive at the friend's house, it's nighttime.
No,
It's
that's
pitch
why
black.
it hasn't happened yet. This happens first.
Yeah,
it,
he's
it
right.
says they're going to go
Okay.
to his
He's-
house, and then it shows this.
It takes them a really
Evolver's
long
traveling
time to
back.
get there.
Yes, it does.
He passes the
The
video
friend lives
excitement
farther
place.
away than the fucking.
Yeah, the geography
mega
of the entire
tech
town doesn't make a
industry.
lot of
Yeah,
sense
who the fuck
because
knows?
Ethan Embry
Also,
just
the
drives a
door
moped
is like-
around.
You know when you're like
Yeah.
at a supermarket and you go behind the supermarket and there's like doors for like the
Yeah,
entrances and stuff?
that's the entrance.
That's what the entrance to this like arcade
Yeah, that's
looks
the
like.
main entrance.
It looks like the back alley.
Meat curtains.
There's
Yeah.
2 guys in there smoking a joint while one of them's playing the game terribly and the other guy's watching.
With no audience.
No one.
No,
no
they're by
one.
themselves.
They're
No one
smoking
works
weed
in
in
this
there.
place.
But I
What
can't
is
imagine.
this
I
building?
can't imagine it's a school day because Ethan
grown
Embry they're
men.
not in school. But I'm like, where is everyone?
Were they adults?
I think.
I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
I don't know.
So they're smoking up. They're
Does
playing this
someone
game.
work at this arcade?
No, because
Like, if they're students, like, do you have to? Who's opening this door? Is
I
it just open to the world?
If I
And
may,
then a huge company that's trying to like take over the toy market with a robot is having private tournaments in a room that's never locked and no one works at. Like, what the fuck is this town?
it's like Cybertronics just opened it up. And they're doing research, so they just
God, I
make
hope it's
everything
on the
free.
back side of Cybertronics. It's the back corner. It's like
the back of
the
it.
employee lounge of Cybertronics.
And they're just like, kids free. You just
Smoke weed in here. Who cares?
Yeah, we got games. It's just
no,
one.
that's a lie. We got games.
game. It's
okay.
come on in and stare at our statue and smoke
Well,
drugs and
so they're in
have
there
no
smoking
supervision.
Well, also they've already established that it is a 2-player game,
Yeah, but the thing's
but only
gone.
the 2 guys,
Only one guy's
only
playing.
one's there
Well,
and one guy's
he's
playing.
smoking, really. He just wants to watch.
But the other guy's smoking while he's playing too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Evolver shows up and the guy's
up.
like, holy shit, man. And
It's
he's like,
so
do you want to
funny.
play the game? He's like, fuck yeah, dude.
and
And
it
then
just electrocutes
just
him.
fried him instantly.
Immediately.
Gone. Oh, we
Done.
missed a scene of him overcharging on the house circuits in the
Oh,
basement.
yeah.
But
It
he
doesn't really
like
matter.
zaps him, and then
Yeah.
it like grabs the cable to the headset the guy's wearing and makes his eyeglasses explode.
shocks the
but he's
glass
fine.
out.
Which I thought was killing him.
Yeah, but
no,
he's
but
fine.
he was
No.
just like it just.
But also,
explodes
that
the
guy didn't
helmet.
agree to play any games. So Evolver was just like, "Fuck this guy's headset."
Maybe
No,
Evolver
I think it did because he was like, "Dude, it's the thing in the game."
No, he doesn't agree until
He's like, "You
so
watching this, man?"
his glass breaks, and then, he's
And then
like,
he
"Whoa,
thinks-
this must be the next level."
Yeah, like he's so high he thinks reality is
It's
a
a
video
game.
game.
and that's when the guy, the
Come
robot, is like,
on.
"Do you want to play?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm playing already." Like, yeah.
Duh. And
So and then he sees the thing has like an electric spark between his fingers and is coming closer. He's like, "No, man, game over, man." He's like, "No."
no, it like rips a cable out and like touches.
And he
That's
touches
right, yeah.
it to like the cage thing, and the
That
guy
he's
gets
standing in.
electrocuted.
So he just electrocutes a lot
He
of
kills
people.
two
I
stoners.
just want to put.
No
they
one
reveal-
finds those bodies.
Yeah, they
Ever.
reveal all the other kills.
It was
on the
also
news
an
except
accident.
for those two guys, which once again questionable. What the fuck is that room? Like those bodies were never found.
No.
What the implications of that are insane. Is
The
it
Black
a demon?
Lodge, man.
Like the room is a demon.
It's
Not
the
to
Black
mention
Lodge.
Not to mention, it's intimately involved with Evolver because it's the Evolver room.
It has to be like whatever.
It's ever changing. It changes location.
We never
Maybe
have to
it
go
is
back.
connected, dude. Maybe
We
it is
never have to
connected.
go back to it. I'm
And
just,
never.
It's a demon. It's a monster.
Maybe
It's
it is
not
connected
real.
to the Cybertronics, and they just like saw the bodies, and they're like, "Well, like we know it's a problem. Throw them in the blender, and then feed the other robots with
So
it."
then they get
Oh my god.
Ethan Embry and the girl get back to the friend's house to
It's
find
like-
the cops and the friend being wheeled out into the
And
ambulance.
they say it was an accident, even though
Again,
there's an axe.
apparently
he
there's-
has a wound in his leg.
That just like the bully who had a wound on his eye, but he had a broken neck, so it was an accident. Apparently, like one wound doesn't rule foul play.
no.
That could have happened. Saul could have
You
just.
could hurt your eye and fall down
He
the
was just
steps.
fucking around in a garage like kids do. He
Yeah.
died. It
Cut
happened.
himself with
You
a
ever
saw,
met a
threw
kid?
it into a wall, climbed under
It's
a
the
car.
90s. Look at television. There's like a television on the lawn.
Just people being fed into a lawnmower. You're like, okay. No, fair
There's
enough. It was probably an
giant
accident.
jumbotrons in this fucking sky just
You
playing
know,
like Faces
That
of
might
Death.
be- that's like the problem with this world is they never really established the universe enough. If they showed us a little bit more
Yeah.
and normalized the murder that these people clearly lived in.
So they find the disc.
Like every TV channel is just people.
It's like the
dead.
hobo with the shotgun world, but we weren't told that it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they find the disc. They go back to his house, or no, him and the girl get in an argument. Even though his friend
Yeah.
is like just hurt, she's like, "Why aren't you talking or thinking about me or something?" So
Yeah, she wants like attention at this
Well, no,
moment.
she showed up to give him shit about the disc, and then
it's like,
he
"You're
was
not my
like,
girlfriend," and like
Yeah.
mopeds off, goes home,
She's like, "You're right."
tries
I'm
to
not.
access the disc, and has something that could read it.
No, it kept saying disc read
Well,
error.
he
Yeah.
puts it into a disk drive, but it looks like a floppy disk drive.
And
Yeah.
it just says disc read
Read
error over and over
so
again.
he unplugs the battery from
Which is the way you actually stop
yeah.
Evolver.
Yeah,
is
so he
unplugging
literally,
the battery.
like,
And then
unplugs it.
The next morning he goes to Cybertronics.
He meets up with
And he's like,
Q.
something weird's going on with this fucking
But he tells him
robot."
everything. He's like, "I killed the bully."
Yeah,
and
we think- I'm
crushed
pretty sure
my
it's
friend."
killing people.
Here's this thing with porn on it we shot.
But it also probably has a murder on it.
And he's just like, you might be full of shit, kid. Come back later.
I'm gonna sit here and masturbate to this. You go home.
So the
Ethan
kid
Embry's-
swipes
so he
like
steals his
card.
access card.
Yeah.
But then the girl shows
Then the girl
up.
just shows up and she's like, "I thought you'd be here." They
I
hide
think
from the cops.
She was gonna go talk to Q separately because she was also concerned, but figured he was a fucking asshole and wasn't gonna do anything about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then she sees him like running through a hallway, and then they both sneak into a room.
Because this corporation
And then
is
find out
easy
about
to get
Sword.
into.
Yeah.
So
It's
yes,
the
then they
shittiest
access.
company.
They
Yeah.
they hack the guy's access card and use Sword as the password to learn more information about Sword.
And it stands for strategic
World
Weapon.
weaponized.
Oh fuck me.
I don't. Yeah.
device.
Operations.
Device was the last word. I know that. Yeah.
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance device.
No, robotics.
Because it was a
No,
Surveillance.
R was robotic. Come
Was
on, yeah.
Surveillance.
It was
weaponized. What's the O?
strategic weaponized something robotic
Yeah.
device.
All right,
Yeah.
Sword.
Sort of.
At least Evolver could have at least had a sword.
Isn't this? I know. I wish he did. Didn't Q reveal to Ethan Embry that the original intention was?
So they watch a bunch of stuff. He originally designed. We find out that Evolve
It was a
or the
military
software was
program.
it was a military robotics infiltration device that was supposed to infiltrate organizations, learn about them, and then murder them. Right.
We see
And
video
then-
of it accidentally killing people,
Killing everybody but Q.
Yeah.
And then it says that it was terminated in 1989. Why is it in this company's record?
6 years later.
7 years later.
7 years later.
And why did you use the same anything that was involved with that to make a video
It had
game?
the same vision.
Yeah,
It
and
had
then
the Evolver vision.
And then from the video game, you're like, no, we should make the murder bot real now again.
Which still
But for
doesn't make
kids.
sense
for kids.
to the earlier scene where it seemed like the guy was doing like stuff he shouldn't by activating Sword on the robot. So
But he was using the programming of Sword to create the
A
game.
game.
Oh, maybe.
But it's like, did he
because
even-
he said he remember in the Santa Claus scene he did go like, you said you wanted it to be competitive,
The best.
The
the best. So like that's why
But did
he's
he
using
change
the
it at
sword
all?
programming.
But if it's a video game, it can't actually hurt anyone.
You're right.
Since
You just
since they made a
underestimated the
real
fact that it
one-
would suck ball bearings
they
into
didn't
its ass.
give it real weapons. They gave it,
fake
stuffed
weapons. Yeah, that's really the only
balls.
difference is it had fake weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It just
watch all
fucking
this-
learns.
They watch all
Can't
this
pick up
footage.
knives or anything.
They haven't even got there yet. Yeah.
It's about to happen because
Yeah.
that's when they realize it's gonna kill everybody. And she's like, "So where is it?" And he's like, "It's at my house with my sister."
You left it there.
He was there, and he
God damn
calls
it.
them on a payphone that's in the private
Middle of the parking
private
lot.
parking lot of this fucking killer robot making facility.
Weird looking payphone too.
Yes.
And he
It's
calls
like
the
a
house,
dog.
and
It's
the,
like
a
egg,
bubble or
half an
something.
egg.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little girl answers the phone and is like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm playing with the Volver." And he's like, "What the fuck? It was off." And she's like, "I turned it back on.
I
Why
put
would
the
you
battery.
ever
Why
turn
would
it
you
off?"
But also that made me question because half of the movie she's like, "This thing's stupid. It's a jerk. Why would you want this?" And then when she's home alone, she's like, "I'm playing with your toy."
That's accurate to
Oh,
kids.
but also they've established that she's like an adult figure.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
cooks
Like, my
meatloaf.
meatloaf's getting
responsible.
dry, but I gotta play with this robot. Like,
It doesn't make any sense. He's like, "It'll kill you,"
Okay.
and she goes, "Whatever, I'm playing." It's like, wait, he said
That's
it was gonna
not
kill
true.
you.
so then we see the robot is meanwhile loading snake knives into its missile launchers.
And then goes, "Hey, you want to play a game?" And she's like,
Jesus
"Yeah."
Christ.
Starts
then
firing steak
I wish when
knives.
it asked her, be like, "Hey, you want to play a game, bitch?"
And then
Yeah,
she
she died.
he shoots the knife and then
Goes
she's
into
like,
a
"Oh,
chair."
what's that?" And he quotes her and says, "It's a knife, jerk." Which
That's
is
true,
great.
He does repeat it back.
Yeah.
So then he's shooting knives at her
She
poorly.
wigs the
She
fuck
doesn't
out.
see. Well, she doesn't see it at first.
No, it's like the
No.
second one.
Yeah,
The second one like sticks in the wall. It's a
Yeah.
steak knife.
The first one
Yeah,
went
yeah.
into
What
the
kind of
shark.
aerodynamics does a steak?
He's shooting it hard enough that it stays straight. Okay,
He's also shooting it out of a Nerf gun.
it's been an hour. It's
Anyway.
okay. We're getting close.
So what? How much time we got?
No, we just.
Yeah.
It's a warning.
So
then-
keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Don't
warning.
want any tirades, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
let me jump in. Before this, Q watches the tape and sees the murder.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
does
so-
see the
yeah.
butt boy's murder.
the butt boy. He sees the butt boy's face murder.
All
he
right,
doesn't,
now
like,
back
really
to a
do
murder
anything.
robot.
Q knows all hell's breaking
Yeah,
loose.
he's like, "Oh fuck!" But
Right.
now this robot's trying to murder a
So
child.
she runs outside and she falls into
the
She
pool.
trips over a chair and falls
Does she
into the
trip
pool.
or does she? Is it strategic
trips.
her jumping into the pool?
No.
No,
I mean,
she
she,
trips.
wouldn't know
totally
about the
trips.
electricity.
She trips. She trips into the pool, and then he comes up to the edge, and we've seen him electrocute people at this point.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to stick his little short arm,
But it's
in
not
the
long
pool.
enough.
He can't reach the pool water, so she climbs up on an inflatable alligator,
Yeah.
and he electrocutes the metal ladder, which electrocutes the water, and she's screaming, "Ah!"
And then he shoots a steak knife into the alligator.
So it's deflating and she's screaming.
Not into her.
No, not into her, just the alligator. Make it take longer.
He
And
can't
then-
aim with these steak knives.
And then Ethan Embry and the girl show up because they only
He
live
kicks him-
5 minutes away off
From
this
the
shitty
Cybertronics.
scooter that he has. It
Right.
probably only goes
Well, it
20
shoots a knife
miles
at
an
him
hour.
and he sees it's a
Wait,
knife.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he hits,
shoots it with
he
the
hits
laser
the
first.
target. In all of the commotion running through the house, he stops and grabs the laser gun off of the counter.
Because he knows it's the
Shoots
only
in
way
the
to
target.
actually
He knows
stop it.
And it's like, player 3 is the champion.
Yeah. So he's,
Moving on to round 4.
and as
then
it's
he
talking,
just
he's just
like,
like,
fuck you, and just like kicks it in the pool.
water. Yeah.
And
isn't the
shorts
daughter
out.
still in the pool? Or is
No,
she,
the girl
got
saved
taken
the
out.
The girl saved her, and then Cybertronic shows up. It's Q, and
And
it's
he's like, I can't believe this happened. I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
hey.
It's like, you fucking military.
you killed a kid and injured another one, and you almost killed my
and
family.
the mother like
Two
almost seems kind
transients
of
that
like
nobody will ever
not
care
as
about.
big a deal as it should be.
Yeah,
That
like-
like her 8-year-old daughter had knives shot at it while it was
Yeah, they don't
like
call
this
the
daughter's
police.
gonna need therapy.
Like they
Like,
just threaten to sue, but she's like not gonna do it. She's
Yeah.
like, you better hope I don't. So like they weren't gonna do anything about it. They're just like, get it out of here. It tries to kill them.
Yeah.
Why are you not immediately
Really?
calling a lawyer?
so the crew or the company has 2 guys pull it out of the pool. They're drying it off. They put it into the van.
Q's like, it was a game. I will fix you.
Yeah, yeah. So they're driving back to the company.
While they're driving.
And
he's in the
again,
back
we've
fixing
established
it.
that the company can't exist more than like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, they're really close.
Because they called
This
from the
has to
payphone and
happen
got to the house
with
in 5
invisible
minutes.
sight. Like you could see this happen from the house, probably. That's how
So
close.
yeah,
they
he's
are.
trying to fix it in the back
Maybe
of
it's
the van, and he like does something, and then the robot comes to
Punches
power and then
him
just punches him in the
with
face.
the
him
gun
fuck
arm.
out. It
It's
makes
awesome.
like a
He's like,
human
"Eh."
punch noise, though. It
Yeah.
sounds like a
Yeah.
fist punch.
And then
in the
immediately,
face.
like, rockets to the front and grabs the driver by the throat with his shitty ball grabbing hand.
Ah!
And the guy's screaming, and he veers off into. It's
a
a
pretty
pretty
awesome
traumatic.
Dude,
crash.
it's a
That
pretty
was dope.
great crash.
That was a dope
Like it's
crash.
got
Yeah.
like 3 front flips,
Yeah, it's
vertical
pretty
And
good.
flips
this
with a white
giant
van.
yeah.
And then
It
it
lands
falls,
upside down.
and we see that the
All 3 bodies come spilling out of
so-
windows.
and that's
it's like
3
"Ugh."
bodies, 3, which bothers me because that implies that there was a guy in the passenger seat
That just died.
while the robot is choking the driver, who's just like
Doing
watching and doesn't do anything
Whoa, what?
It's just stereo.
because it's a pretty long choke sequence.
Yeah.
He's masturbating to the video that he stole.
So
from
then
work.
the doors of the van get kicked open or something.
It's awesome. Yeah,
And
he's
he
back.
rolls out.
Evolver
And he's
walks
pissed.
or rolls out.
Oh, he's pissed now.
He
Yeah,
rolls
it's-
over-
It's the 4th competition. He's ready to go.
Now he
Yeah.
rolls over leaking gasoline, and then we hear he's sucking it up. His little vacuum.
Well, it's filling
While Q
the
tries to, like,
Nerf
shut him
ball,
off.
the Nerf ball compartment with
Yeah.
gasoline.
Yeah.
Well, in the video of that they found earlier, he uses some kind of kill code to
Yes.
turn the machine off, and he tries to do it again, but it's like we do not recognize that.
But then he tries
For me-
another
but, like,
code,
there's no
and it
reason
doesn't
for
work.
he
There's
wouldn't
no
recognize-
reason for
He
him not
evolved
recognizing it.
past listening.
Either
You know?
that, or I'd like
That's
to
it.
imagine that the guy's changed his password so many times he just didn't
Doesn't
remember
remember.
it.
He's a shit. He's
Because
shitty
he tries
at his
twice.
job.
He's like Delta, no Phoenix. Like, it's-
No, wait.
Sword.
well,
Fuck!
did I put an exclamation point on the end of that?
Capital.
See, this is why I'm killing kids all the time. God damn it.
So then he flamethrowers the gasoline,
Somehow,
and then
somehow his arm and stuff, everything.
rolls away,
That's the only time he does the flamethrower.
It
too.
is too.
Yep.
Yeah.
and the van explodes.
Q is dead.
It's
And
a
then
massive-
He confirms
A
Q's
massive
dead.
explosion.
It has to be less than a mile from that house.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then we
no
cut
one
to
notices.
No one
nighttime,
notices at all.
And yeah, it's Ethan Embry and the girl in a park.
and he ran out
getting
of
all
gas
Kissy face in a park.
because
on
he ran out of
bridge.
gas with his moped.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You just used gas to kill a guy.
Then he ran out of gas.
ran out of gas. Sucked it up.
Some good match cut. So they have a
They kiss.
moment. They kiss.
They kiss
Finally.
their girlfriend and
After all the
boyfriend.
tension has been building between them.
between a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like 2 days.
This whole
It's
thing
like
takes
2
place
days,
in like
yeah.
2 days.
They're kids, whatever.
So
They wanted to fuck as soon as they met. And
Yeah.
then, because they leave
You
the
beat me in a
moped,
video game, please.
they
have
leave
sex
the
with my
moped in
body.
the park, and they don't even walk it. They just leave it, and they walk the streets till they come upon the accident. Again, this happened like early day, the explosion.
Yeah, it was.
No, this is like
at like
up.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And it's like
bright
9 o'clock
sunlight.
at night. Yeah,
And they're like, there's the cops, and they're like, oh my god, that's the Cybertronics van. There was supposed to be a robot in the back of it.
The cop's like, what the fuck are you
He's trying
talking
to kill
about?
my sister, but this is when we went on the
Also,
rant
is it
that
not well known at all?
you
in this
never
town
told
that
the
they make
police?
robots.
Yeah, the cop's like, you're fucking, what the
Well,
fuck
you're
are you talking
insane,
about?
kids.
There's no
Cybertronics
there's
doesn't
no
make
robots.
Like, you know
You're
what I mean? They don't have
crazy.
any clue what this company is doing at all. They're just
What's
crazy
a robot? It's
kid.
1996. Shut up.
Shut up. Go watch somebody getting killed. It's fine.
So they run home, I think.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, we see at the house is when
fuck
it's
me.
when it's when he takes
Well, no,
hostages.
before the house, he goes to the power station.
Oh, right.
And hold on. Well, no. After he blows up the guy, there's also
We don't see him do it. We just see the fence.
no. Because
Right?
before we only see the arm because before that he goes, it's time for the final level.
Yeah, and he starts
And he
upgrading.
spins around and upgrades, but you can't tell what the fuck happened. And we were like, "What does he look like now?" Like our minds were racing. Like William H. Macy in a robot costume. Like
I
all
thought it
this
was gonna be
shit.
a full-size robot man.
Then they show him power charging, and we were like, "Wait, it's
We
the
just see
same
his arm.
shitty little arm, though. Like, what the fuck did he turn into? We still aren't there yet, but it's awesome.
He took so much power from the power plant that
Yeah,
the
the
entire
lights.
town
The
goes
whole
blacked
grid.
out.
Yeah, he absorbed
the whole
like,
grid is
it's like
down.
a grid of power.
It's all down.
in
He's
one
got
battery,
it all.
the size of a brick.
Yeah, it's like the size of our phones.
They made the technology to be able to withhold all that power in that size is better than all the robotic technology
he
you can
can
imagine.
evolve.
But if you go to Europe and plug the wrong type of power brick in the thing, it's done.
It's done, right.
So then we get to the house where the daughter is in the bedroom.
The
And
mother, the mother's like, "Oh, why is the power out? This is fucking
yeah, she's
bullshit."
lighting candles.
And then the daughter's like,
They're doing everything by candlelight.
We hear
Well, no,
something.
she's walking around with a flashlight. Yeah,
We
'cause
hear
it's a
something
fake scare.
break, and then the mother's like looking for the daughter, and then they do a jump scare where the daughter's behind her, and they have a moment, and she's like,
Can
"I'll
I
be up
sleep
in a
with
minute,"
you?
or something, and then the mother goes in the other room again. It's like watching the same scene
It
twice.
made no sense. Yeah, she was like, "Can I go to sleep with you?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." And then all of a sudden, the mother's in a room alone, and the daughter's screaming upstairs.
Yeah, I was like, so
I'm
this is the second
what?
time. But then
We
we
could have
find
cut to them just to them being hostages.
Yeah,
You don't even
yeah.
need anything else.
Yeah, so the mother
She's-
walks in, runs in. The
She's,
daughter's
like,
in the
cowering
corner,
in the corner.
and then
A
she
like,
turns
revolver
around.
rolls out,
He-
and he's smaller.
It's a bee's nest. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
yeah, and he's smaller.
No, you still haven't seen him. You don't see
So
him.
this is when he rolls out, isn't it?
No, yeah, it's down the stairs.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
know,
till
the
they
stairs
get
is
back.
the first time you see him because this time they're like, "Oh my god!" and all you see is him
The-
push the
the
button
laser.
on the laser gun.
Yeah.
Because he retrofitted one of the guns from the game
With
to
the
go
kaleidoscope.
through the kaleidoscope to create actual lasers that can burn through things.
Yeah, like a laser net that's setting the
But not
wall
like
behind him
burn
on
through,
fire.
because they tested. They threw a teddy bear, and the
Yeah,
teddy
it's
bear is
not like-
intact, just on fire.
It's not like
But it
real
bursts
genius
completely in
level
the
like
flames.
laser. It's just
And it's just slowly burning the walls.
Very
Very
slowly.
like they're basically like in
very
a cone
slowly.
in like a corner of a room in a cone of lasers.
Yes.
Right, and then
They try to escape. Her arm sets on fire. We don't ever need it. The cone of lasers is so
so
stupid.
dumb.
It's amazing.
so
so
he,
dumb.
he comes home and he challenges the robot. Right.
He comes flying down the stairs.
and then we finally see that he's been compacted himself.
Yeah,
And
he's
the
just
way it comes down
shrunk.
the stairs looks like it. I thought it like threw its former shell down the steps, and it was gonna emerge like this huge fucking thing or something. But no, it's this tiny little. It's like compacted.
They
all
clearly
the way down.
had to shoot that multiple times for how many times that thing fell down the stairs.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
Maybe that's why it got smaller. Like they eventually just broke the actual robot they built, and they were like, "Well, let's just
make it
look
smaller. Just take some parts off.
Smaller's better. I
Whatever.
guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's less of a target. I guess that's the point.
So what
And
does
it's
he do?
real fast now.
Does he have a new weapon?
Yeah, it's very fast.
He's got a laser gun.
Laser
yeah,
blast.
he
laser
shoots
blast.
lasers
That's
because he,
right.
He, like a
he
pulse
absorbed the
rifle.
power
But he doesn't
grid.
shoot it out of the laser in his chest.
No,
It comes out of the
He
where
shoots
the,
it out of where
gun.
everything else
shooting
shoots
knives
things out
before.
of.
Like, what the fuck sense does that make?
And then Ethan Embry
Now
just
it's like-
grabs the laser gun as well that does nothing but shoot a robot because it shoots nothing.
Well, he's trying to play the game and actually stop it.
And Evolver's trying to kill him for
physically,
real.
It's basically just a sequence of them running around dark rooms
And then he
blocking
bullseyes
doors, and he gets shot in the leg with a laser, and then we know,
Yeah.
it can actually hurt him.
Right, and the only place you have to hit Revolver because it keeps getting smaller every cycle.
It's
Gets
a
smaller.
bullseye.
Now it's just
It's
a
a
tiny
bullseye
dot.
on. Yeah, it's a tiny like quarter-sized dot.
So he hits it.
Yeah.
And then Evolver starts freaking the
He's
fuck
like,
out.
Evolver can't lose. Evolver can't
Hold on.
lose.
Hold on.
Evolver can't lose.
We totally skip. He
Did
does
we?
he does the Back to the Future 3 where he puts the serving dish in his
Oh, yeah,
chest
I
and he
guess.
So
gets
he
shot.
pretends to be dead.
Yeah.
And
so
then
the-
Revolver does like
Oh,
audio. Yeah, he amplifies.
Dude, this
Well,
thing
first-
was like
first-
a butter dish. What
first
if it
if-
shot him in the
first-
face?
I don't know.
Evolver celebrates.
Evolver has
Yeah.
won.
Evolver has won. Evolver has won. Evolver has won.
Right.
Like just shimmying left and right, and then he hears like a minute like
And he
sound.
amplifies the audio of breathing.
He
Yeah.
zooms in his mouth. He's like, he's not dead.
So then Ethan Embry gets a bullseye.
Yeah.
No, but then the girl like distracts him. He's like,
Yeah.
shoot me, not him. And then he stands up and shoots it. 'cause
And
he's
shoots
standing
it.
right
I
the
just
fuck
skipped
up.
the pointless thing.
Evolver has
he's-
won.
Evolver has won was good. Yeah.
Evolver has
And then
won.
when it's
Evolver
doing
has
the
won.
Evolver can't lose thing, he starts
He starts
bashing
glitching
it.
the fuck
He
out.
starts bashing it with a baseball
Yeah.
bat.
But he's glitching before that. Like before he even hits him with the baseball.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah,
he
he's
has lost.
freaking
He's
out.
like, I can't win. All right.
He's
Well,
like,
he did absorb a power grid, so he's probably
he
fucked
clearly
up.
could handle it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that was the knife he shot, and it was just so full of electricity it looked like a pulse shot. Like
Yeah, everything that comes out of this thing is just pulsing with radioactivities. Yeah.
So like he beats it with the bat and then it powers down.
He's like,
So
oh,
then
we gotta
he-
save them upstairs.
Yeah, they run upstairs. They turn off the gun, and they're fine.
They're fine.
The
Everything's-
mother just has a little bit of an arm injury because she burned it.
She burned a
We're
little
like,
bit.
oh, we're gonna get
And
out
then
of here.
yeah, and they're like,
And
oh, it's finally over. The family's leaving.
impossibly.
I love it.
Evolver-
I love it.
So good.
And, like the mother, the girl, and the daughter all come out of the room, and then the door slams shut, and Evolver's on the other
It's
side.
not over yet.
How the fuck did he get a room with 4 people? Like none of them.
He
noticed.
knows the house
Remember,
better
every
than
time,
you.
remember though,
That's true. He does. He
until
knows
that
every
point
crevice.
though,
There should have been like
every
a Roger
time he
Rabbit
moves-
hole in the wall behind us, something.
every
like,
time he moved though, up until this point, has been loud as fuck.
Oh yeah, he's just like man, like, you
He's
hear
a
him.
stealth mini
But he
robot
got into the
now.
room
He's dead.
behind the door and then closed the door for the reveal.
Yeah.
It's
But
great.
they left it down. Oh my god.
So-
It climbed
no, but
up
then
the
so he's
steps.
like bonus round
oh yeah.
and charges at him or rolls towards him.
He's
with
only got his
just
claw
his
hand
ball
left.
hand. And,
Yeah, he did just a
and somehow
does.
gets a chokehold on Ethan Embry.
He trips on something. Who the
I don't know.
fuck
He
knows?
throws him against. He gets to the other side of the room, picks up the laser gun that can now shoot lasers.
It just shoots a
Yeah, the one
well, the
he turned
kaleidoscope
into
was
a
like
real laser
dividing
gun.
it.
Yeah, the kaleidoscope made it the cone shape.
So he-
This is just a
This is
single
singular-
laser.
But
this-
the Evolver made a real laser,
Laser
Yeah.
gun that Ethan Embry could wield.
Right.
Like what the fuck?
It
are you
doesn't-
saying?
which then
Yeah.
he starts shooting, and it's not like a pew pew. It's
It's
like
a
a solid laser that's
Yeah.
just hitting him in the balls.
and somehow he can jolt it to make
Yeah,
more juice
more and
come
more,
out of
and
it.
it overpowers to the point where in a closed bedroom, Evolver explodes, but like a bomb explodes.
The
like
whole
It's like a
room
stick
filled
of
with
dynamite.
fire.
It
Going
should have
off.
looked like Lethal Weapon 3 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Ethan Embry should have flew out
There's
of a window.
there's
with
like
dead body.
Evolver
He just-
shrapnel
Yeah.
hitting the walls, and I'm expecting like Ethan Embry's hair's gone. He's got Freddy Krueger skin, but
He
maybe
looks
he's
like
alive.
Ernest. At the
Yeah.
end, Ernest goes to jail. I got blown
But no,
up.
he's untouched. Untouched. The room's charred.
He's fine. Happily ever
I
after.
wish that's how it was. His hair
did.
all charred and smoking. Like, oh,
So
I
then it
killed
cuts
Mom.
outside the aftermath where they kiss at the ambulance and the
Was it John Dooley?
cyber
Paul
corpse.
Dooley?
Yeah,
Paul Dooley.
he comes up.
He gets
and
sworn
by. Finally, there's
News.
reporters.
Yeah, like what is going on here?
You're an actual company. Who are you? Like,
You've been running this town for the last 3 decades. Tell us who you are.
but then
Oh,
Zooms in.
it zooms in.
Well, we go up the steps. We get into the room, and it zooms in onto the eye. That's still
onto Evolver Eye, and then we see Evolver Vision. Kill not confirmed. Smash cut the black. Evolver
Credits
2.
roll. Half the credits go
Fargo.
by with just
Is there
generic
Evolver 2?
music.
Did
No,
we look that up?
I could not find.
So there's
Evolver
generic
2.
music through half the credits, and then it kicks into "Beat the Machine," which is a song that was written for the movie because it talks about Evolver and the level ups.
Yeah, it says like it talks about level 3.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like
god,
Evolver, beat the machine.
it's fucking awesome.
You can't beat it. That's
You
what we
can't beat
learned.
It's a Volver song by White Lion or something. It's like, yeah, it's
But why would
pretty
you
good.
take a song that was written for the movie and put it at the last 2 minutes
I
of the
don't know.
credits?
Yeah, I know. Why wouldn't it happen right as
Why
it...
wouldn't it have been during the opening schematics?
There is no.
I mean,
Evolver.
all in all, though, kind of a damn entertaining movie.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
it
I mean,
perfectly,
you know, like...
like I referenced the Ghost of the Machine because to me that was like this level of 90s like cheesy. They're very
Yeah.
everything is in it. Like you could call that movie every step of the way, but it's a formula that worked in the 90s. So being able, like growing up on that, watching it is actually entertaining.
This felt like it should be on a VHS shelf next to like Munchie. You know what I mean? I know it's the different tone and everything, but like it's that, it just feels like that production value, that like video rental, straight to video,
Yeah.
sci-fi or fantasy movie.
Yeah, hardware, like it fits into that genre.
The skateboard kid,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
Terrible. It's insane.
You'll
William
never-
H. Macy doing the robot voice is kind of awesome.
see, when we started watching
starts
it,
to sound
I found
like
that out
annoyed
on the
and
description as we started watching it. It was
He's
a cherry.
not in the opening credits.
No,
No.
it's
No.
a cherry on top of the whole
Yeah.
thing. It was
We had
just
no
like,
idea until it started.
yeah, I'm
And you
glad
can
I
watch
read
it
that.
for free on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, I learned. Streaming.
is it?
Yeah,
Is it in HD?
Are you serious?
it's on Prime.
Is it in HD?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Is it in HD?
We could have watched
4K.
a way better looking version of. We watched the shitty YouTube one.
I know.
frame
We could have
YouTube.
really seen how shitty that robot looked like in
Oh
HD.
man, I want to see a 4K remaster,
Criterion Collection.
3D.
5.1 Dolby Surround.
Jesus Christ.
William H. Macy go, I'll
Beautiful.
slit your fucking throat, bitch.
I mean, I now know if I ever meet William H. Macy, this is the only thing I'm asking him about. I'm
So,
have to.
Evolver, were you like embarrassed? Is that why you like just don't credit me?
Dude, I
or-
hope he's so down with it. He's like, oh, it's like my favorite thing I've ever done. Like, Evolver. All right. Everybody's on their phones. So
Well, I
we'll
was
stop.
trying to find the clip of the.
Now telling me the video is unavailable. IMDb told me it was on Prime.
It was on Prime.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely on YouTube. A link will be underneath the episode on Podbean. Thanks, guys, for doing this again.
Yeah,
it's been a long
absolutely.
time. I'll be back again at
This
some
is a
point.
good one.
Yeah.
This is a good one. This is a
Yeah,
good.
it's
I'm
a
happy
good
I found it last night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Talk to
You
you
guys have
again
anything you
another
want to
2
plug?
years.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
I don't do anything.
No.
Fuck
Well,
all
I
that
don't do
shit.
it. Well, yeah, like I just work.
It's
That's
okay.
what I do.
You see,
Capitalism is what you want to plug. All right,
Yeah.
capitalism.
There you go.
Right. Okay.
Get jobs, everybody. Get a real fucking job out there.
Art doesn't pay.
We gave up that dream.
God, yeah. If you listen to the 2 years ago podcast and all, we probably plugged all of our channels. Now they're all shut down.
You made a video like 2 months ago.
I did.
Yeah, it was.
What do you mean, like the Twin Peaks opening that he shot at work one
Yeah, I was
afternoon?
at work.
Yeah. Go to Rob's YouTube channel
Yeah.
and watch the Twin Peaks opening video.
Yeah, or something.
Or sign up for LinkedIn.
We got great pages. Very professional.
Build your portfolio. God damn it. All right. Bye.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.